live.
We're
Ta-da!
alive.
Here we are. No
Good
intro
morning.
needed. Hi. Hey, Liz Gale, or like I like to call you, Boots.
Boots, I love it. I've
You
always wanted a nickname. Love it.
I think it suits you because you're just walking all over Scientology. And I guess I gotta confess, I am a bit of a hoarder. I hoard yarn, and this behind me, this is a tiny sample of it. But I heard you've been hoarding something. You got the mother load, you hit the jackpot, and you've got boxes and boxes of what do you call it? Stuff.
I don't know, Scientology crap. Yeah. Uh, well, and I do like, I don't think that collecting is the right word. I'm not sure what the right word is. Researching, because my grandma got us into Dianetics back in the 50s, and I know that they've re-released and taken pieces out since then. So I was always kind of on the hunt for those early materials. The ones that like my grandma would have actually read.
Yeah.
And that means the algorithm has learned that I like to look on eBay for things. And I don't know
Oh,
how this giant lot, this was an individual's entire lot from their Scientology career. They were a class, I don't know, 6, I think they said. So, hold on. Bye, I love you.
Bye, I love you. I have to. My bus leaves at 3:45,
Okay.
so I'll be home, but not for long.
Okay.
You'll be here?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, guys. This is morning going to school time at my house.
yes. So moms do.
Yeah, it's a game day today, everybody, just in case you were wondering.
Game day.
Game day. Anyway, yeah, so now I'm getting glared at.
That's okay. Only
Too much
106 people.
information I shared. Sorry, guys. There may or may not be a game today. Anyway, the library. Yeah, it was this individual's own set of stuff, and they had chosen to be all done with Scientology,
Mhm.
boxes and boxes of stuff. So I bought it all as a lot, and I find it really serendipitous, to be honest, because it was a local guy. I happened to be right by where he was at, you know. Stop it. My dog. We're just all kinds of
Okay.
going on over here. But yeah, so now it was in my living room. It smells. It's a smelly pile of boxes. And it's been banished. It's banished to the office now. My husband had about this much patience for it in the living room.
So it
But
has
there's
that musty old smell.
yeah.
Like it smells like LRH.
Can you hear my dog talking crap?
It's fine. I mean, we love dogs. We like dogs more than people around here, I think. Right, guys?
He just won't show his face. I'll ask him to come on camera and he won't, but
Yeah.
he'll complain nearby. You have to stop though. Go out. Go. Go on. Out. You're being rude. Go. Out. Go out. Theodore. I have to stand up to make him think I'm serious, but I'm wearing pajama pants and I didn't want you all to know that. Go out. Out. Business on top, bed on bottom. He's already
That's right.
all right. Well,
Like a
that was
mullet.
fun. Yeah, exactly. There's some wild stuff. I got 3 e-meters. Back to the topic. Sorry about my distractiveness this
It's
morning.
all good. It's all good.
So there's a lot of wild stuff in there. In fact, we had kind of talked about, you would ask me about TRs, and I had found some wild stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so, just as a disclaimer for you is I don't want to talk about anything that's going to, feel triggering or, upsetting. I can't imagine getting a mother load of the stuff that I got rid of it all, burned it all that. And I have one book that I'm always waving around that was just horrible torture for children, the blanket training book. And I just can't imagine having piles and piles of it around me. In fact, that's kind of how I found all you all, because it was less triggering to talk about Scientology, but also I got a lot out of it because, like Liz, the other Liz says, Liz Ferris, it's all the same snake oil, just different packaging, different language,
Yeah,
So,
it is.
yeah.
Um, it's pretty wild, I think, for me. I do a lot of research where I've seen a lot of these PDFs. When I was writing my book, it was really important to me to always have as many citations as possible. There's so many footnotes in
Yes.
my book, um, which is funny because it's very conversational. It's not an
Right.
academic
Right.
tome, but it's very different seeing the books firsthand to me, different. Oh boy. Different things are written in different colors, ink, you know? So that really affects it. He
And
found a bone.
that means something. There you go.
There, go get it. Ha. Yes, I won the dog battle.
There you
Okay.
go. Should last a little while anyways.
I don't know. People said, don't get a red heeler. They're sheepdogs. They need so much, and he needs so much. He's a constant 3-year-old. So, not that I throw bones to 3-year-olds, but you know what I mean.
That's my favorite age of toddler or of kid, because they're still cuddly, but yet they can, go potty and do stuff, but they're
Yeah,
still, I don't know. They can talk. They can tell you what's wrong. I
I
love
know.
that
I
age. I
I
love
love
that age.
that age too, and it's so fun to see the world like new through that
Yeah.
age's eyes.
Why? Yeah.
Yeah. Why exactly? I feel like that's a 4 or 5-year-old. Oh man. I feel like I'm that way now. Why with the Scientology
Now
stuff?
you can
And
ask why. Yeah.
yes, and I have to admit that unboxing these books has really I already have more answers than I thought I would get. So I feel like that's a win. That's a win for it.
Mm. Do you feel like any of it is like evidence? I mean, when I don't want to bring it up because probably gonna bawl my eyes out, but when I saw one of your videos with the cans, that just made me lose it. And that's
Yeah.
just right there, evidence, like this should be some of this stuff should really be illegal for children. Absolutely illegal.
I agree.
In my humble opinion.
No, I agree. It was pretty triggering for me. So the e-meter, which is considered a religious device, right? They protect it as a religious artifact. Um, yeah, you have to hold cans, and they had those ones that are just so tiny. I really am gonna start wearing those around my neck when I go to protest or, go anti-Scientology things. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, I cried. I cried too. They're just so small. And someone had mentioned to me, oh, it was a thing in LA. All the ladies were like, I need the tiny cans. And I'm like, no, those were tiny cans. Your hand had to be, very, very small.
And you
Uh,
held them.
yeah, yeah. And I remember actually graduating to the cans because since I was born in Scientology, um, I had Scientology practiced on me since in utero. And for people wonder, well, what does that mean? You can't read or write, early on, you can't even sit up in a chair. So there's different processes that they can do where you're drawing pictures or, different things. And I remember the day that I graduated up to be big enough to hold the cans on the e-meter, and seeing how small those cans are now is many words, disturbing, upsetting, but also confirming in a way,
Right.
right? Because
Validate.
I've
Yeah.
known it was not okay. I've known
Right.
I was too young, but without that physical representation to see how big I was, it's so hard to put it into context. But when I see those cans, the physicality of it becomes very clear. Those are for a size human, and you have appropriate size for the hands. Nobody's hands,
Right.
except for a child, would be that small.
Right.
Period.
And it's messed up because it's like when you're a kid, you want to please your parents, you want to be like a big kid, a big girl, You know what I mean? You go
Yeah.
on the big girl potty, you go on the big kid this, big kid that.
Yep.
Oh, I get to be a big kid and hold the cans.
Mm.
It's just absolutely terrible. It's just that normalizing insanity, normalizing abuse. It's abuse.
Yeah.
I feel
I
like it's
I
abuse.
feel like it's abuse, but it's so bizarre because when you're in the mindset of it, it's like a good thing. And I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
I'm not trying to normalize or make
No, I
excuses
understand.
for it,
Yeah.
but just that mindset of like, "Oh, wow, my kid is big enough now that they can like really get helped."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um,
And
and
your parents probably meant well, and I meant well in some of the things that I allowed my kids to go through. But now that, looking back, I'm like, that was that was so damaging. It was so not okay. But at the time,
Mhm.
you wanna do the right thing, and your religion, whatever, is telling you this is the right thing if you love your child. Of course, you love your child.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, I think most cults have to weaponize the parent's love at some point because you have to
Mhm.
break the bond between the parent and the child in order to um, get full control. So I'm reading these. Yeah, I know. I mean, if you guys want to wait like 3 seconds, I can grab them if you
If
feel
it's
like.
okay, if you want to, honey. I mean,
I'm okay. I'm on a
I'm
mission, you
probably gonna
guys.
cry, but they're
I'm
used
on
to
a
me.
mission. I want
They're
the
u
world to
okay,
see.
let's do this.
And
Yes,
I'm
let's do
sorry that
this.
I didn't pull them out before. Just give me
No, let's
hold
do
the floor.
this.
Don't look in my pajama pants.
If you say, "Don't look at my pajama pants," they will. Hey, everybody. I'm just, starring some of your comments.
All right.
I wanna see them.
Here's the whole thing.
All right, here we go.
You guys see it. So there's like the actual e-meter. I'm hunched over here like a troll.
Oh, wow, so it's wooden.
No, it's plastic.
Oh, it's plastic. It looks
It's like
Oh,
the
okay, I see now.
normal one.
Yeah, alright. Yeah, so it's just, that color.
And it's actually like this one's pretty snazzy because it has everything matches the same color.
Wow.
Like the cords and everything. All right, guys. I guess we'll see how far my healings come, right? I'm actually not as upset about it. I was upset and shocked, and now I'm like motivated.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm like,
Yep.
everybody needs to see this.
Yep. Passion, yeah. I love the passion. Yep.
Okay, so the guy was an auditor. He would have audited
really?
all people. So like this is a can. I mean, my hands are pretty big, but like this is one my husband maybe would use, like a grown man. Let's see if I have something for scale. Maybe a pen. Here we go. Here's a skinny highlighter, guys. And then another one. This is probably more my size now because I know that you want it to be, oh, maybe this is a little too big. You don't want a gap there because
Oh,
the e-meter is going to be putting a very small electrical current through your body. So these are your plugins, right? The energy is going through the cans and going through your body and giving a read on the meter. So then there's this one. And I think this is the size that maybe my friend was saying. I guess I can name drop Nora. I always try and keep everybody's identities private, but Nora did word clearing and stuff at CC. So she worked with a lot of celebrities in upper public. And she said that a lot of the women wanted to use the little can. They're like, it's about being skinny or cool. I don't know. It's like so niche. That's the most niche thing I've ever heard in my life.
geez.
And so, okay, fine. I have big hands. Let's play skinny. Fine.
I have a size 11 shoe, so there's no way my hands are small either.
Right. And then we have this tiny baby. It's half the size
Oh,
of a small highlighter. And I mean, I don't know. I could probably only maybe I have a couple more pens or something. Here's a fat highlighter. Everybody knows how big a fat highlighter is. I mean, come on.
oh my god.
So this right here, Who are you auditing with this? What is the expectation of the human person that holds this? Because from my experience, and I don't want to toot my own horn here, guys, but I did work hard to get a 4-year degree in it's in child and family studies with the specialization in early childhood development. So human development 0 to 5. Okay. It's all basic stuff. You guys probably know most of it too, but it was all new to me when I left Scientology. The hand that holds this, that we're talking about a 3 to 5-year-old, I think. I mean, this is very small. The other gross motor, that means large physical, like big body movement, expectations during a session are to sit in a chair because you have to have constant contact and there's a meter read. You have to stay still. You have to stay still. You have to answer their questions and you have to sit on your butt. From my experience as a 8-year-old for
Right.
3 to 4 hours at a time, take a 15-minute break, another 3 to 4 hours, go to bed, eat dinner, wake up, do it again for at least a week, depending on what you're doing. It is disgusting. So when we talk about early childhood education, talk about school readiness. A lot of people think school readiness means, oh, my kid can sing knows all their letters and they can write and do that. There's so much more that happens before that.
Right.
Before your child can sit in a chair and hold the cans or a pencil, they have to have a core that's been developed enough from a baby who can't even sit up to a core that
Right.
can hold them in the chair. They have to have, fine motor development in order to hold this. Like, are we really expecting a 3-year-old child to do things that they wouldn't be expected to do in a normal school age setting? That's crazy. Not to mention the actual mental and abuse. Let's just look at the fact that a tiny human is expected to sit in a chair for a long period of time and hold these and be still. What the hell?
And be asked questions like what? Over and over and over and over and over?
Over and over. So the youngest age that I know a full security check starts is 6 years old. I would argue that most 6-year-olds wouldn't even fit this dang can. I have not found people that I'm comfortable enough yet saying, hey, will you please put this in your child's hand so that I can see how it fits? I will get to that point at one point, and I would like to, maybe if I have a mom friend who has a young child, I would like to just take a picture of not the child, but just the hand so people could kind of understand. But I'm not there yet. It seems like I'd be doing something wrong to ask to put that in a can in a kid's hand. But they would be asked questions. Yeah, I mean, it could be anything, but most likely they're going to be asked to recall things. Like, some of it can be positive. Recall your best, like a time you had ice cream. But the problem becomes when you're 3 years old, you're on a meter, you're 4 years old, you're 5 years old. Oh, I had ice cream when I was 1. Okay, good. Tell me an earlier similar time you had ice cream. Well, I don't know. I was 1. I don't remember before that. Well, what was that thought right there? Oh, well, I see a blue sky and I ate ice cream, but I was older. Oh, that's a past life. And you're just like, you are in a rabbit hole. It does not stop. And it doesn't matter what you say, how old you are, what you're doing. It all depends on that electricity going through your body and how this little needle moves. Now, I know a lot of people have said, give us a demonstration. I'm not actually trained in how to do this properly. I know Serge. I know some people that are. And we'll get to that, but I'm not ready for that. Serge and Aaron brought it up last night that maybe they would do a mock security check. And in that case, they can use this, whatever. But I've decided that I will never be picking up the cans again, even as a joke.
Good for you. Good for you. Hang them around your neck instead. Yeah.
They'll hear me.
Make earrings out of them.
That's actually a good idea. I'm laughing, but like they're not even
how small they are.
They're not even that much bigger than my actual earrings.
No, they're not.
It's ridiculous. I was thinking around my neck. I also thought maybe they'd give like a cowbell sound, and I could.
Yeah, someone said wind chimes.
Yeah, but they don't.
Now,
you're a fat disappointment.
So when you're young like that and holding the cans, did did you do past life recalls like that when you were young? That young? You
Yeah,
did.
I did. Yeah, for sure. This is why I don't have a like specificest recollection of when I quote originated. That means in Scientology, it's like a big concept or something you come up with. Like at some point when I was very young, I said I was a past life Scientologist. And so that became a part of my understanding of my identity before I had a sense of identity, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Um,
Yep, absolutely.
so I don't remember when I learned that. Later on, my needle end, which confirmed, I guess you could say, that I was my grandmother reincarnated. Um, the grandmother that got our family into Scientology, which is a mind mess, because that led me to then think, well, if I'm the one that got us in, does that mean I need to be the one to get us out? Like, is that my, did I do that? So now I have to do this kind of thing? It's a weird one.
Mm.
Wow. You're good.
Wow,
You're getting a
that's a
weird
lot.
Liz this morning. Sorry, Marilyn.
No, I'm here for it. I am here for it. I just I can't think of anything to say because it's just so oh
It's what?
everyone yeah. It's like confusing, heartbreaking. I don't know. It is just it gives me a fire in my belly too because I want to see this exposed, all of it. And when those with those little tiny cans, it's like, how can people say that this is a religion, that it's something that is good for children? It's not. It's not good for children. And I just want to scream it from the rooftops. And I'm glad that you're talking about it. And
Yeah.
we're
Thank
all
you.
here for you. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate there's no way I could do this alone. Are you guys kidding me? There's knowing that
So true.
anybody cares, knowing that you care, Marilyn, helps me get out of bed in the morning. I'm laughing because isn't that funny what life comes to sometimes that it is the support of, I don't want to say strangers. That's not the right word. It's It's the you guys. It's the you guys of it. You know what I mean, Marilyn. There's something
Yeah.
about the community caring that is empowering, and it makes me stronger. It
Yeah.
makes me want to fight harder. It
Yeah.
makes me want to expose more because I feel like I'm getting somewhere and people are starting to understand.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
which is all
you were raised to be a good little girl. You were raised to be silent. You were raised to absorb and not react. You had TRs. It was like abuse coming at you, indoctrination coming at you, and you had to be still, even even as a young child. But now it's like, never shut up, Liz. Shout it, do your thing, and we're all here for you. And I'm here to say that was not okay. That was not normal. Was not
Thank
normal.
you. Thank you. It didn't feel normal. Um
Liz
But again,
Ferris?
and someone said up here, I lost the comment. Oh, hey, Liz. There's one thing to tell the story, but when you have the visuals, I think it helps. And there is something about having this library that is kind of a game changer for me. I don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah, it really makes it obvious, like, here it is, you know, and how nobody can deny that that's not okay. That I mean, I don't think that was for, like, little, you know, 90-pound women who wanted to look dainty. No,
No, well,
tiny.
and they're limited by their own science, right? You have to have a particular your fingers can't like overlap because that changes
It might even be
the
smaller than a toilet paper roll.
yeah, this is the size. I'd say this is the size of a toilet paper roll. Maybe a
Mhm.
tiny bit bigger. So
Wow.
this is considerably smaller. I mean, I have giant children, but my 9-year-old would never fit that. He would have outgrown that 5 years ago. I found some other really weird stuff in there. Can we look at one other thing that's super gross?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, you wanna
I'm just starring some things. The chat's blowing
Yeah,
up, so I'm trying to
are
get a
they?
couple
I'm
of
so
things.
glad.
Yeah. Yeah. Lots
I
of support. Lots of
uh,
support.
that's wonderful. Please start anything that you
Okay.
want.
We'll get
What
to as
did I
many
say I
as
was
we
gonna
can.
do? Oh, yeah.
Something really messed up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm like I don't mean to smile like I'm so sadistic, but like imagine that you had a bully for a really long time and you're trying to tell people, and then one day people are like, "So what that bully really do?" And you're like, "Okay, let me tell you." That's how I feel. That's how I feel about
Yeah.
this.
Well, I'll show you one visual since we like visuals. I was told I would be on the dung heap.
That's right. That's right.
And,
Scientology is always you'll be flipping burgers when it's like, you know
yeah,
what? Flipping
I'd
burgers
rather
is
flip
so
burgers.
legit. Yeah, like what's the problem?
Yeah, everybody partake. Xenu Marlene. Somebody called the Xenu Marlene. So,
All right, I'm in.
all right, remembering our friend Doug.
Oh, frickety frack.
I know. Sorry,
I was
I had
watching
to
your
bring it up.
live. Was it yesterday? You were talking about Doug a lot, and I was feeling it. Every time something kind of big happens in a movement, it's like, man, I wish you were here.
Yeah, me too.
I wish you were here, man.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. Anyways, we don't want to cry.
to Doug. All right. I'm going to try and introduce this in a way that makes logical sense. I assume most people watch this are going to be somewhat caught up. So if you're not, you better get real loud in the chat and tell me what you don't know.
Right.
Okay. So in Scientology, there are training routines, right? TRs that we say. There are TR0. There are lower level TRs, which is usually what we talk about. We talk about sitting across from somebody, practicing giving commands, practicing acknowledgement, communication. If you go to Scientology and you take any communication course with them, this is what you will be taught to do, these TRs. Now, as they get higher in number, they get weirder, right? There's one called bull baiting, which is you're trying to desensitize the other person. Remember, all of this is, yes, for training for life, but mostly it's a training to be the auditor. The auditor is the person that is not holding the cans. It's the person reading the needle, asking that person, asking their PC, we'll call them the subject, asking your subject questions, right? So you have to be prepared for almost anything. Your subject might tell you that they did something really awful, and you cannot have a reaction of ew. You can't have a face response. You can't have any response at all. You are no longer a human being. You are an auditor. So much of the training that happens in Scientology to get you to become an auditor is to turn you into like a robot, essentially. Because you're just supposed to be there to take the information. Not just that, you're supposed to have impinging communication, meaning that I would ask a question and it goes past your mind into like your soul. Basically, your soul is responding. So if I'm asking, have you ever kicked a door? I have to ask it in such a way that is like pure intention. And this is training, money, 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 money.
Yep.
Now, in my things, I found what are called the upper TRs, okay? Upper indoc course.
Indoc? Is
Uh-huh.
in
Now,
indoctrination?
what's so funny is you messaged me that last night. And so I was like, I don't know. So I pulled out my technical dictionary, Scientology's technical dictionary. And we're going to have to do a follow-up because I don't know exactly where this is, but you guys can see. Wait. Indoctrination. And then it has
Holy
yeah.
fudge.
Yeah. Right
Will
there.
you
And then
see
it
it?
has HCOB 10 April 27. That's Hubbard Communication Office Bulletin, I want to say. So we'll get I can try and find that. I don't know. That's somewhere in my red books here, but I don't so yes, they are in this is upper indoctrination. Okay.
Mhm.
Look at the front. Do you see what's, oh, my ring light. Hold on. Let me turn that. What the heck? Hold on, guys.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'll just turn it off. It's hard to see. He's like
Yeah.
moving this lady. He's like holding her up.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So after you are done sitting in the chairs, you're going to do these upper indocs. Oh, I could share I have a screenshot of this, but I'll just show you in the book for a second.
Leaving Scientology is at Lewis. He says they're doing TR7 in the lectures photo.
All right. That's good to know. That's this one. Okay. Well,
there's a lot of ex-Scientologists in here in the chat. Thank you guys.
So the upper in this is so I'm gonna have to let me share my screen. Okay. I
Yep,
took a
go
picture
ahead.
of this one.
Yep.
It'll be better that way, obviously.
What color is the ink on that? Is it red?
No, well, maybe actually. Good call. It is red. And the reason I got confused is so this is a course pack. When you purchase this, you're purchasing the course. You wouldn't buy this book just to read. You're going to do this to go in and practice these drills. You'll probably be assigned to another individual called your twin, and you would go through this book. So it's a combination of different texts. So some are green, but yes, the one that we were looking at is, here we go, red. Can you see it? It's really kind of hard to see, isn't it, guys? Deal with it for a minute. Okay, this is this is TR6. It's called 8C body control. All right. You are silently steering the coach's body around the room, and you are not touching the walls, quietly starting, changing, and stopping the coach's body. When the student has fully mastered nonverbal 8C, the student may commence verbal. So first you are taking them by the shoulders or the body. You are moving them around. The next thing you're doing is you are giving commands. Look at that wall. Thank you. Walk over to that wall. Thank you. Touch that wall. Thank you. Turn around. Thank you. Okay. I know this sounds insane, everybody. I get it. Imagine you are in between two walls, and your job is to have your partner with you and tell them, look at that wall. They look at the wall. Thank you. Walk over to that wall. Then you get them to touch the wall. You are acknowledging them every time. That's a big Scientology thing. Then you turn around, you go back and you touch the other wall. Okay? Hours.
While someone's touching you?
Yeah. Well,
like guiding you?
Yes. And so eventually.
Who is saying 8Cs them around? It's a verb?
Yeah. Yeah. 8C is a Scientology word. It can be actually a noun or a verb, but it is your ability to control, or you'd say 8C her to the room. That means like guide her body there. The idea is you're controlling bodies. Okay. Then you're going to start to get higher up in this drill. I can't remember. He said 7, but essentially it's the same high school in doc. But you're going to use physical contact with the coach. Student enforcing commands by manual guiding. Coach has only 3 statements to which the student must listen. Start, which is to begin. Flunk, which is they messed up. And that's it. Okay. Quote, that's it. Now, the reason that I'm all over the place today, you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm processing on the go. So I really appreciate your patience with me and my crazy rambling. Once you get going higher and higher and higher, if you've ever heard about the drills where you speak to an ashtray, have you heard about these? Yeah.
Yes.
That is here. Okay. These are one of their higher level TRs. Now, if you go into a Church of Scientology and you go to the first floor, they have a course room there where you might see people doing the first level of TRs. Then there is another classroom upstairs, the academy. That is not where just you can't walk off the street and go up there. This is where, because people are talking to ashtrays, people are guiding each other to the wall and back to the other wall for hours.
Right.
So you're getting to this point now where the coach is struggling against you. They don't want to go. They don't feel like it. They've got this idea and that idea. They got to go talk to their mom, and maybe they even start eventually physically pushing back against you. And your drill is to control their body to get them to follow your commands.
Even if you're a smaller person, right? Even if you can't physically do it, what are you doing? Are you trying to like postulate, like trying to mind control them into submitting to you?
It's not
And while
even
you're grabbing them? I don't
It's not even so much mind control. It's the idea in Scientology that the highest tone, the highest vibration, the highest intention a human can have is going to be so pure an intention that when they give a command, the other person follows it.
Mhm.
And this is like when you talk about people getting up to high levels of being class, 6, or back in the day, there used to be a class 12 auditor. You are talking about someone who has been trained to be so commanding, essentially, that they get the job done. They
Right.
make it go right.
Right.
Um, Now you start to throw some other things in there, like, well, who are we working with? Are we trying to get someone this big in that room? Or are we trying to get somebody this big in that room? In Scientology, there's no differentiation, right?
Yeah.
Now, when I did this, I was twinned with another girl relatively close to my age. I was 12. I was 12 years old when I did my TRs and objectives, and I started to do this. Luckily for me, I was already a little bit of a brat, and I was twinned with another 12-year-old girl, and she was a little bit of a brat. And so we did have a safe space in each other as best we could. But years later, only recently, so when I processed this at first, I came to understand, wow, you're really teaching people how to control people. I mean, this is
Mhm.
control. You are teaching one human, not just that it's okay, but how to, and that they should physically control another human being. That's
Mhm.
weird. But it was only, I think, earlier this year or late last year that I realized, oh, but you're also teaching that person to be controlled. Duh.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh yeah, I just figured that out.
Right. Yeah.
But this is really interesting stuff to me for a few reasons. I don't know if anybody watched the security guard footage. When I went down to LA, there were 2 instances on the Saturday I was there where we were outside Big Blue, and a security guard came out and interacted with the Scientologists that had been interviewed on the streets. One of them was a older woman. I say older, she was like not too much older than me, but she wasn't a young teenager or anything, from Moscow. She was perfectly happy to speak with the interview. The protesters were asking her questions. She was talking about how she likes Scientology. And the security guard came over and
Actually saw
physically
that.
put his hand. This is what he's doing. He's
Mm.
seeing her.
Mm.
Then later there was a man named Kevin, and the same security guard came over and did the same thing, put his hands physically on him, said, "We're going inside," guided his body into the building. And I think what was so triggering for me is that that's very commonplace, because the ability to do these TRs is something that you would have trained for. It's an honor, and to be that high level where people do what you say because
Right.
you are tone 40, because you have your TRs in. It's a lot to wrap your mind around, at least for me.
Mm. Can I ask you something? So in that case,
Mhm.
the security guard came out and I saw it and it was very triggering to me even
Yeah.
because I used to have my hands laid on me in a
Mhm.
different way, but similar too. And you had to submit. You were always told to submit to authority. So he was the
Mhm.
authority and he was coming and uh what is it? Eight seeing her. So
Mhm.
she knew at that point he outranked her because doesn't she know how to do tone 40? She couldn't do tone 40 back because he outranked her, right?
It's
Or
funny.
because his tone
It's
40 was better than her tone 40?
yeah, it's very interesting because it's complicated, right? I'm gonna pull up this here. The lady is indoctrinated into being okay with being physically controlled as
Yes.
well.
Yep.
And so, yes, I do think that he outranked her. The security
Mhm.
guard pretty much outranks anybody else on base, York wise. Plus, they can sort of take command because they'll say it's a security risk or whatever. But that's a really good point because, yeah, it's so
Can she tone 40 back?
Exactly. And if you were tone 40, if you truly were tone 40, wouldn't you be saying things to your religion like, hey, we can't have a convicted artist be a part of our church, Danny Masterson, or, we can't, people are like, I'm just saying tone 40 means you get to the bottom things, you confront things, you look at things, you're total, what the heck is going on over there?
I know, talking about confront and shatter, I forgot what her name was. It was jeez, the woman that, was in Clearwater that
Mhm,
Aaron was walking along, he knew her,
mhm.
and she was one of the first, or not one of the first, that had audited Surge, and they did a stream about her.
That
Somebody
woman,
will remember her
Gail,
name.
Gail
What's her name?
something,
Gail
Gail.
something?
Mhm,
And it was quite a long, segment where he was like,
mhm,
asking her questions about Danny Masterson. Is that okay? What if he argued you?
mhm.
How would you feel? Da, da, da. And at one point she came to some shrubbery or something and she had to walk around it, right? But she was like smiling at different points. But she had her TRs and she was looking straight ahead and she was trucking and not
Yeah.
reacting at all. But at one point, like I was like, how can you smile about this shit? But
Mhm.
he knew her and she still didn't acknowledge that she knew him. She just kept looking ahead. And that to me was just, oh my God, it was just awful, you know?
It is awful, and so I would see that in members of my family as well. It's so bizarre to me because on one hand, they talk about integrity and ethics, and they
Right.
talk about, um, suppression and truth and justice and bigotry and hate, and do none of those same concepts apply? Like, it's selectively apply. So, it's
Mm.
so bizarre, so bizarre. Um She called
Yeah.
me.
And what about confront and shatter? They're like, they
I
got their
know,
blinders on. They're not confronting and shattering
I know.
oppression or suppression or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and not to take this to, like, a really dark place, sorry, guys. So the Danny Masterson trial, okay? Uh, the first trial, I consumed almost all of Tony Ortega's written commentary. He would update 3 times a day about what was happening in the courtroom because you could write, I guess, but you couldn't film or whatever. And so he wrote the testimonies of the Jane Does down. And I want to say it was Jane Doe 2, but I very much might be wrong. She started talking about an instance with Danny Masterson where he was forceful, which he was obviously convicted of, but that he physically moved her body into multiple positions
Yeah. I remember that.
and that he said to her, "That's it." Okay. And in her testimony, she said, I think once or twice, that he I don't want to get like really it was really hard to read and it was really gross, but moving her body and said, "That's it," like a couple times to her. And in that moment, I said, I know she's telling the truth. I know he's guilty.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so many people in the world were like, well, 20 years ago, how do you know? How do you know? And it's like, well, I know. I'll tell
That's
you why I
it.
know. I'll tell you why I know. Because Danny Masterson, second generation Scientologist, would have taken the same TRs and objectives course around 12 years old that I would have. And he would have done this same exact training about moving bodies and about guiding them with physical contact, and that there are 3 commands: start, flunk, and that's it. So I don't know what you can do with that, but that was a pivotal moment for me where
Yeah.
I wanted, and I tried to explain it, at the time, but having something like this in hand empowers me to somehow try again to make that message
Yeah.
clearer. I tend to make short form. You know me, Marilyn. I
Yeah.
tend to
Hi, everybody. No,
yeah.
I love it. I love it.
I'm like usually my
I'm
stuff
there
is
for it.
2 minutes. I like to chat with everybody and stuff, but it's an interesting challenge to put such a big concept into
Yeah.
a 2-minute video. So I'm gonna try my hand at it again because I do think that these pieces of information feel important to me.
Absolutely. To me too. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it really is unveiling the truths of the depths of the abuse. And this is really what I am doing this for, this thing, Ask an SP, is because I feel like there's so much you can say when telling your story, but when you actually get into the quote doctrine, tech, whatever
Mhm.
they want to call it, you're seeing the mind control. You're seeing even similarities to other cults, like the
Yeah.
snake oil thing again. You know,
Mhm.
and I feel like it's one thing to listen to another story and almost being like, oh, like almost like what Nora said about treating cult survivors almost like a fad, like
Mhm.
or animal in a zoo, like, "Ooh, we're looking." But
Mhm.
to actually hear what is behind it all, I think really takes down the barriers and lets us see and relate and be able to understand each other, where we're coming
Yeah.
from.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's understanding is I don't know, it's like the most important thing, right? Like once the tipping point I think comes where the majority of people start to understand how Scientology uses control and manipulation and, financial stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, no, eat something healthy and then you can. This guy. Um my
You feel
littlest has
better?
an appointment today, yeah, so all
Aw,
right. He's trying to get a donut, you guys. No, I told him he has to eat something healthier. I'm gonna get embarrassed
you're
for
such a good mom.
parenting on a live, but whatever. Um, yeah, so I'd like to be able to expose this. I think my hope going forward is to condense this stuff down to like short form content that packs a punch because
Mhm.
it is challenging too. I mean, not everybody's as dedicated as the 100 people or whatever in our
Right.
live here.
342 to be exact.
Oh wow. Uh,
345 now. Whoa, 3 more
well,
people.
well, I mean, you guys are taking the time to watch this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And there's so much I think education, hopefully, that you guys will get from this. But there's other people who aren't gonna do that, and
Right.
they're gonna
Yeah.
have we have to get the message to them as well.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm also here to expose these things, but also I feel like I'm here for you, Liz. Like
you
if
are.
it helps to if it helps to kind of talk through some of these things with 340 of our friends, right? And then to kind of pick out because sometimes I think when with talking about the crazy shit I went through, I was like, I'll say something and I'll be like, wow, I never thought of it that way, or I've never expressed it that way. And it kind of helps me to be able to talk about something. And then I can kind of get a grasp on really how I feel about it,
For
you
sure,
know?
for sure. I think that's one of the most amazing things to me about this community of it's not even all X's. It's I don't even know what the right words are. I don't want to call it SPTV or anything anymore, but even, the protesters, like I've just learned so much
Yeah.
from everybody. Serge Del Mar, his approach is like unflinchingly unapologetic. And I've learned a
Hmm.
lot from that. There's like Aaron who isn't afraid to become controversial. And I've learned from that, and I think you and I are probably almost the most similar. And I just you have always had the same compassionate heart and message through every single one of your videos, every single one of your guests, everything. And I've learned so much from you. So
Thank you. Some people would beg to differ. I've been told to be more discreet and more behind the lines and keeping things in the family, but I don't know. I'm to the point where I feel like I can choose my family now, and I don't have to be quiet when I don't want to be. So, I you
Yeah.
know,
Well, yeah,
I
and
think I can relate to you, Liz, because I know it's been very hard for you to come out and talk
mhm,
about these things,
mhm.
and you're getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and I'm so proud of you. I
I
really am.
appreciate that so much. It's a huge part, um, to you and these freaking 346 people. It's insane.
Thank you, Lou. I say that to the second gens all the
Yeah, never
time.
shut up, Marilyn, never shut up.
Thank you,
It's good.
Lou.
It's good. And there's something about, like, being compassionate and kind person doesn't mean that you let people you love get hurt or get treated badly or get away with crap. I mean, there's people that I respect, and because I respect them, I will call them out
Yeah.
and give them a chance to,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
help me understand where you're coming from
Right.
instead of just, I don't know, taking it. But people do show you who they are. And this ex Scientology community is a wild one. And I have to admit, I'm saddened sometimes at the like breaking open, of relationships. And I think change is coming. I think that some of the,
Yeah.
just as it has in the past, like back in the Paulette Cooper day, some of the early activists against Scientology who got just shit on, and nobody believed them, and then there was another faction of these, like, kind of old timers, um, and the anonymous, and now there's this whole new group of people.
Yeah.
And respectfully, I would say step aside. Honestly, I would tell any, if you were a part of the problem in a big way,
Yeah.
now's the time to let some others, because there are never ends now, and there are people who are willing to take up the fight, who
Yeah.
will be more effective because they don't have the same skeletons in their closet. And it's so great that so many people came
Mm.
out. But if you don't see the future of where this is going, in
Mhm.
my opinion, respectfully, step back,
Yeah.
because then let the new folks
And
take this car for a
can I
ride.
just, do a little plug for,
Yeah, please do.
at okay, if I have any I don't even know if I have any mods or anything, if anybody can find the link, to, at Diane Edix
Yep,
is, AKA Marisa.
yep,
She released a video this morning,
I
and
watched
I
it.
I don't remember did you watch it? I don't remember what
Did
the title was, but basically she was essentially saying, in her opinion, everybody's
Mhm,
entitled to their opinion,
mhm.
story time is over,
Yep.
you know? And it's okay if people wanna say that the protesters are doing bad, whatever, that's okay, but they have a right to do what they wanna do, and we have a right to speak out, and I don't feel like anybody that is, in blowing up my inbox, in my I don't know, like, yeah, sometimes I name names, but I think that takes a lot of balls to name names, but if people are, like, secretly in my inbox or saying things without saying my name and trying to tell me what to do, trying to handle me, it's not gonna work. I feel like I'm not in anyone's family. I choose my family.
Mhm.
I choose you, Liz. I choose the other Liz. I choose Kelly. I
Yep.
choose anybody that is not trying to shut me up and make me do their will. I already been there for
Mhm,
36 years.
mhm.
36 years in a different cult.
Yeah.
So, like you said, step aside. Step aside,
Mhm.
do your thing, stay in your lane. I don't have to be in your family, whatever.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And, maybe it's dramatic, but I see this as a battle. I see this as a war, and I see my fellow cult fighters and anti-Scientologist activists as my fellow soldiers. Now listen, this is not this is I've never been in the military, so this is certainly not to compare or put a worth in comparison to anybody in the armed forces or serving. I fully understand that they are actually at war, okay?
You're
Just
not
want to
in a
be
fake
clear
space
here.
Navy either.
Yes,
Yes.
okay? Like, I
Right.
understand.
Right.
But in my world, in my little world, when I see, um let's name names here, okay? Chris Shelton. We're gonna name Chris Shelton's name. When I see him going out onto the battlefield and taking hits, even though he's not my family. He's not even somebody that I am friends with. But I still reached out to him. Hey, let's have a debate about this. I thought it'd be good content. He said multiple times, I don't get it. I don't get it. Of course, I'm going to make that reach out because I feel like we're still fighting the same battle. After the response I got, it's like, okay, we're fighting a different battle. Cool. That's fine.
Right.
But the minute now that you're like, going to email William and try and get up on this battlefield, no, it doesn't work like that.
I don't think William can be handled. I really don't.
No, and I mean, even I had to work to get in with Williams, to be accepted because I don't know how to explain this. It's like, don't think, I'm gonna stumble upon this, but basically, look, if you have skeletons in your closet, or if you don't have the grit for this, that's fine. Then just move out of the way.
Yeah. That's right.
It's all good.
That's right.
And if you want to keep talking like about fairy tales and story time, as Marisa, who is my chosen family, I love that. I love her. We speak
I do
regularly,
too.
and she's
I do
taught me
too.
so much because she's unapologetic, and this is who I want to aspire to be more.
And she was a very the closest friend that I know of Doug Scott Kramer, and a lot of people
Absolutely.
like to throw around his name and say that they were friends with him and all this, but then while at the same time trying to silence people that were actually friends with him that want to continue to keep his spirit alive, to keep his the things that were important to him, which was speaking out, whether it was about Scientology or about anything that he was feeling. He wasn't in a family. He didn't consider himself in the group, in the mainstream, in the whole movement. He was himself, and he did name names. So, I don't know. And he would call things out. People that just want to sell their books and just, tell their stories and do all, and it's all about them. No, it's about little children holding little cans and being like you said, people that were privy to that watched that, tolerated it. It's not okay in my book. And I'm getting angry, but I'll shut up.
No, don't shut up. Never shut up.
One. All right, never shut up.
Yeah, it's infuriating.
I didn't plan on saying any of this today, but I feel like we're empowering each other.
Yeah.
To just be honest. Be honest.
Yes. We should be honest. And here's the thing. I have
I had to laugh. Rock it out for life, Kim. Rock it out.
You got to. If we were in the same room, we'd probably be hugging it out. So one or the other. Yes. See, there becomes a problem. And I'm going to be very vague about this, mostly to protect myself and to protect my friends. But if a person, say, knew about a child on the cans and was privy to their written documentation about how they were abused, and they talked about this while on the cans, and that person now wants to come out and expose Scientology, but there were people that kind of hid it at the time, it's just like, what do we expect to happen? If your hands are not clean, step out of the way. You are not helping the cause. If you cannot stand behind the victims 100%, then get out of the way, because we have 340 people in this chat that will. We have Marilyn that will. We have me. We grew up, and now we're grown-ups. And if you do not understand at this point the harm that was caused to the children in Scientology, and you're going to stand by it, get the F out of my way. Because you get out of my way and you get out of our way, or we're going to have to push you out of the way. I don't want to sound threatening or weird right now. I'm just saying, like, us kids, we grew up now.
Yeah. Look out. Yeah.
And thank you for advocating of what you did, but now we're going to. So let us fly.
Yep.
Sorry. Was that bitchy? I'm not trying to be bitchy. I think the people who know who I'm talking about know who I'm talking about, but I'm trying not to, like, anyway, I wasn't talking about.
Do you have the same problem I have about, like, I feel like people don't take me seriously because I have yarn behind me. And I mean, Liz, you're so cute and quirky, and
nobody takes me seriously, Marilyn. But that's my charm. I get in there.
We're badass. We are badass. Damn it.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of it too is about the approach. There's an academic approach that has value. There's a particular whistleblower. I mean, there's all these different.
It's different style.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
also was my whole life. Like, I can laugh about some of that crap and I can be strong and then I can cry and I can be angry. Like, I'm not going to
Mhm.
be one way anymore and I'm not going to do what they say
Mhm.
in this book anymore, which means
Yep.
I'll probably make a lot of mistakes, but
Oh my god, Serge names names. He doesn't give a shred of an F.
a literal shred. I know.
Literally.
I know. And I'm proud of him. I mean, he did 2
And he
back-to-back
deserves
interviews yesterday that blew me away. And even his message and the way that I can see evolution in him as well and growth. And I'm proud to know him and proud to be a part of him, his whatever I'm a part of in his life, however he
Mhm.
sees me.
I like this comment. Hef says, the inappropriate Hef. I love her. She's like my spirit animal. OGs are still following a business model, not a truth model. What do you think about that?
Yeah. I mean, it does appear that there is, I don't know if it's generational. That's not fair to say. I don't understand exactly what it is that causes the rift. I don't know. But okay. So in like Game of Thrones or like some weird war stuff where the the people who are going to fight just pick a proxy. They
Yes.
send their biggest, baddest
Mhm.
warriors to the battlefield,
Mhm.
right? Let's think about it like that. Like, who are our biggest, baddest warriors in the anti-Scientology? And I'm not saying we have to answer that question, but I think we
Right.
can all agree that the warrior I would have picked 5 years ago or 10 years ago is different than the
Yes.
warrior I'm going to pick today. And if I want to win this battle, I better pay attention year
Yeah.
after year about who's that strongest warrior in that time. And to me, the strongest warrior in this battle is going to be somebody, I don't want to say with clean hands because we're all human. And if
Right.
anything, that whole thing with Aaron showed us like we can be human.
Yeah.
We don't have to be perfect,
Mhm.
but we do have to be unflinchingly honest. And if that can't happen, then that's not the warrior for us for this battle at this time. That's what I think. And if you know you're not that warrior, then don't get in line to get out on the battlefield right now. Save yourself. Be strong. Maybe it's another battle that you'll be better for.
Mhm. That's amazing. That's profound and true. It really resonates with me. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, sorry guys. Soapbox. Oh my goodness.
No.
Whew. All right,
Liz nailed it. Yeah.
can we do some comments?
Liz nailed it.
I didn't mean to preach at you guys. My goodness.
No.
It's been a
No.
long
This
time
is
coming, I think, all this
yes. I'm so
talk.
glad. So glad.
Yeah.
Okay, let's excuse me. I'm sorry, guys, if we don't get through everything. It's already been an hour, and I promised Liz I wouldn't keep her too long. She's got a day. She's got a day. Okay. Got Liz. Nora wants to audit Portland.
Yeah.
There we go.
I went by there and so I got kind of a feel for the lay of the land and I want to go back too. And Nora and I had talked about when would be good. And then now I have cold feet, you guys. I've laid in bed at night a few times wondering what my role would be. Like if I put the call out, does that mean that I have an obligation to I don't know. Like Streets really does help the group stay safe down there. Like he'll yell at
Oh, I see what
everybody
you're
and be like,
saying.
"Get out of the walkway!" And
Right.
these are the laws. And
Yeah.
we kind of need that. And I'm hesitant to just laissez-faire throw a bunch of people together. But I guess that's how things are done. So yes, Nora and I will both be there
Well,
at some
start with
point.
2. You got
Yep.
2. You and Nora.
Well, and
You know.
we'll let you know. We'll let you
Yeah.
guys know
Yeah.
for sure.
Sandy Duncan said, I just went back and watched the first interview
Oh my gosh.
Liz Gale did with Aaron. What a great interview.
I'm a post and ghost. I rarely
So you
watch.
didn't
I rarely watch it. I think I saw it ages ago. I was in my car. I didn't even have a house at
I
that
do
point.
remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You didn't have a house.
I did not have we were staying in a trailer, all 4 of us, a like 40-foot camper trailer for quite a while on a friend's property until we got a wonderful angel helped us get into a home. And yeah. Anyway,
Wow.
thanks for watching that. I feel
I'm
like I'm
glad you
going
have a home,
I'm
honey.
so glad I have a home. Are you kidding? When my kids have a home? Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
for
It
sure.
just
Well, I'm glad that you appreciated the video and you weren't like, "Wow, Liz, you were such an idiot back then."
no, I remember watching it too. Feral Cheryl.
Oh,
Feral Cheryl on the loose. Gotta love her. She's one of the auditor, the Scientology audit people in Clearwater. So I love
love
it.
that.
Oh my god. She's also Clearwater Cheryl, and she crocheted that body
Oh,
Thetan. She
okay.
crochets the body Thetans. Yes. Oh my
Okay.
god, Liz, I pulled out my dad's cans and I'm going to wear them next time I go out. All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
Nice.
wanna come down to
Mhm.
Clearwater too, actually.
Yeah.
Would be really cool.
SBTV fan New York. I was distracted for a second and came back to don't throw bones at 3-year-old.
That's right. There
3-year-old.
you go. That's your important
Yep.
lesson.
Yep. Mm. Oh yeah. Lori Plays this is just commenting on the cans.
Mhm.
Not for women who want everyone to know how tiny they are. Yeah, they're for children.
I don't even
And they're
know. It's so small, I've already lost it.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I was gonna show you again, but now
Yep.
I lost
And it
it.
was full of rage with the rest of us. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you, Anna. It is frustrating.
Yeah, I'm glad you showed it. I didn't know where this stream was gonna go. I mean, it went in a lot of different directions, but I think that it was
It
all to be said. It all needed to be said, and I'm so glad. I hope you feel empowered, and I hope you feel in some ways relieved and
Thank you.
also, um, you know, inspired to take bits of this and get it out there and to TikTokers and all the other things that I know nothing about. So me and Taz says, "Hi, Liz. LOL. I was just watching your video from yesterday. Stay strong, Liz. You're doing great."
Thank you.
Yes.
Cute
Kiss
dog.
bumps, kisses. Yes. Adorable. We love dogs around here. Little Mink, Marilyn, can I have you as my second mommy, please? You're just so warm and fuzzy and lovely. Thank you.
You are.
Yes. I'll be anybody's mom. But remember to mother yourself, everyone.
It's true.
Okay? Please. Feral Cheryl again. This is why Kelly was called an SP as 6-year-old as a 6-year-old. What kid can easily sit for hours? You
Yeah.
know, it's just terrible.
Well, and not to mention, I mean, what if they move and something happens with the needle and they're like, "Oh, you're a this, you're a that," and then that takes them on a whole other, path.
Yeah.
Sucks.
And they have to start over. I mean, she was telling me about the TRs and oh my God, you have to sit there, a child for 2 hours and not flinch and barely blink, just quote normally. It's just, that's feels like torture to me. I can't sit still
Yeah.
that long. That's for sure. They want Little Mink wants to know if the poor kid gets left alone with a person auditing them. Now,
Yep.
now it's not always just it's not your parents doing it. It's somebody when you're little like that. Do you go to an org and have them do it? They
Yes.
pay for it?
Yes. So well, okay. It's kinda taboo to audit your own child, right?
Really?
Though some people do it. Like, my mom gave me a security check in our home office when I was 8 years old. I don't know what that does to an attachment bond, but it's probably not great. But yes, you can go into a regular church of Scientology, quote, Church of Scientology, and you can get child auditing, but there are actually field staff members who have like Mace Kingsley is what I'm getting to. There's an entire business that has existed since I was a young child that is for child auditing in Clearwater. And you would go there and pay them money to audit your child. But of course, they're not fully and wholly separate from the Church of Scientology. So they would have to have um, everything written down in their folders, CS'd. So it means basically somebody has to read it and say what to do next. And usually I don't know exactly how it's broken down, but all the information is shared with Scientology, I guess is my
And your
point.
parents are paying for this auditing
Oh,
for
yeah,
you,
and
the
if you're
child?
and if you're going through, like, Mace Kingsley or something, yeah, it's expensive. It's very expensive. I mean, it's the same, if not more, as, the regular intensives, which I wanna say are, like, $8,000 for 12 hours, something like that.
Mm.
Very
So I thought
expensive.
this went along with it. Question from Melissa. Liz, based on your education, what can auditing do to a child's development or developing mind?
Thank you for asking this, Melissa. I don't have a full answer for you, but I promise you it's something that I'm working on trying to understand. And I would like to contribute to the world in a written, ultimately, it'd be really amazing to have an actual thesis behind this and, get the research and information done on that to a point where it can be actually submitted to like peer reviewed journals. So you could actually get other psychologists and people who are social workers to start to understand. I don't have an answer for you, but I'm working on it.
Yeah, maybe a thesis someday.
I would like to. I would like
Yeah,
to. Because,
absolutely.
2-minute videos make a great impact, but
Mhm.
there's a scope to the world. So I
Right.
can be that TikToker that also is in peer reviewed journals. Take that.
Yeah. So Laura Font said she'll let Luce and Luke and Lucy almost 9 hold 6.5 almost 9 hold them. They don't know what they are, so they wouldn't be triggered.
Exactly.
There
Yeah,
you go.
that'd be
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Deanna Ross. Like Diana Ross. Deanna Ross. It's been over 50 years for me, and I agree with Liz. I will never ever hold the cans again for any reason.
Good for you, Deanna.
Yes.
I have felt so much better since I made that decision for myself. Because people are like, "Oh, give us a demonstration, do this," or like even my kid was like, "Show me how it works. I'll do it. I'll get on there." And I was like, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
And I feel good
There
about
are
that.
so many questions. I think we need to do like a Q&A. Or I would even say in the background and let you do a Q&A and I can start questions because there's so many that could like take you, you could spend 15 minutes answering each one of these, but we'll go
Uh-oh,
through a few more.
I'll have to be quicker. I do want to
Yeah.
do a Q&A at some point.
Yeah. Mitch
Hey,
Brisker.
Mitch.
The size of those cans is based on 35 millimeter film cans. Those are tiny. That's
Where did
what
it go?
Hubbard had in the room.
That makes sense. I cannot figure out where that tiny can went. It's so small. It's
Tiny.
like
It's so small, it disappeared.
Yeah, there's 2 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe longer though. This is
Well, yeah,
longer.
but the
Mhm.
width of it, that's small.
Yeah,
Whew.
that seems right. Thank you, Mitch.
Yeah, that really burns my biscuits. Speaking of burnt biscuits, there's somebody named Burnt Biscuit in here. I take you very seriously, Marilyn. Thank you, because I might
Obviously.
burn you, Burnt
Yeah.
Biscuit.
Burnt biscuit. If you wanna take this to the next level, we need a burnt biscuit, like, from her merch as in your profile pic.
Yes, okay.
Bake an actual biscuit,
I do
burn
have
it,
a
take a
I do
picture of
have
it.
a cup, a black cup, a 15 ouncer on the way. It says, "Don't burn my biscuits." It's in my merch store if anybody wants to check it out. There's
Cute, I
also
love it.
one with a flying spatula, and that's another whole inside joke
I
that
love it.
yeah,
You have way too many spatulas, I know that about you.
14 spatulas and proud. Proud of it.
That's funny.
Okay, let's go through some super chats. J Beans, thank you for the super chat. Would love to protest in what's that?
PDX, that means Portland, Oregon.
Oh, oh, okay. Or Seattle. What is your email? Can't wait to see you all in LAX again. So I know that's Los Angeles, right? Love, 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 Liz. Okay, love, Liz, Gale, Gale.
Thanks, J
You
Beans.
have a fan.
My email, hold on. Whew. My email is rusticandresourceful@gmail.com.
Rustic and resourceful.
Mhm.
I don't think either of us have mods today, but everybody's being wonderful in the chat. So thank you, everyone. We haven't had any problems that I've
I
seen.
think I do have a mod in there. I think Steven's in
Oh, you
there,
do?
and yeah, I don't know if
Oh yeah.
he was
Thank
a
you,
minute ago.
Steven.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Steven. Mine seems to be okay so
Yeah, I
far.
mean, everything's been fine.
Yeah, been
It's
great.
not often that
Uh,
300 people behave
you
themselves.
have the clicker. So, do you wanna read the rest of the super chats? And then if there's any other things that you see?
Yes.
Okay.
When I go by Portland, Oregon, org, I only see 3 to 4 office lights in the org upper floor. Building appears mostly empty. Thoughts? Yeah, Alan, I was really confused. So people don't live there. It's a class 5 org, which means that they have staff members who go home at the end of the day or their shift or whatever. It's a huge building. So I don't know what the heck they're doing in there. I really don't. Um,
No.
Yeah, it looked dead to me too.
A lot of empty buildings in
Yeah,
Scientology.
maybe there's a time and a place, but even then, I mean, when I worked at they had a building on Salmon, and it was, like, kind of ugly, but it was big enough. They never outgrew it, so I don't know why they need this, like, 5-story massive
They
building.
just collect them. Like,
I know.
I have pictures of being in front of the quote, "ideal org" in Chicago. I was there in May, and I just asked my sister, "Can we just hop the bus and go down?" And, we couldn't go north and south 'cause the northern, section was where the actual operating, Chicago org is, but then I
Okay.
said, "I wanna see the ideal one," and it's empty. It's, like, on a
Mhm.
busy street, and it's got scaffolding and tape and what police tape kinda thing. I don't know what they call it, but that orange tape, and,
Mhm.
it's totally empty on a huge busy street, and it's massive. It's so, like, tall. I don't know how many stories. I'll have to count it from the pictures, but I guess it's a historic building. Beautiful, beautiful building, empty, and it's been empty for a long time, I guess. I don't know how many years, but
Yeah, well, the
they keep
height
saying they're gonna open.
yeah, I know. Well, and it's like, how many people would you even need to fill those buildings? Like,
Yeah.
hundreds and hundreds.
It
Where
used
are
to
they?
be a city library, I believe,
Oh,
you know?
wow. That's
Those are
probably
pretty big.
they get the coolest buildings, I tell you what. They've got,
Yeah.
like, this old I wanna say it's like a cigar factory in Tampa, like, they really
Wow.
do have some cool buildings. Um, you keep hoping for a story that 2 plus family members, since they can't talk to each other, reach out under the radar. You guys can tell them their family members want out too. How likely is it? My family's not. My family's not doing crap. They're staying until they're done with life. I'm sure of it. I'm gonna do these super chats, and
Okay.
then I'm gonna
Yep.
have to go.
That's okay.
Yes, story time is over. We never ends. Longtime neighbors and allies like me are ready to take action so we can bring an end to Scientology's destruction. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Marisa put it so well like that. And there is a value to the story time.
Right.
It's just like, wouldn't it be weird if you were on the battlefield and somebody was like, "Hey, move over, soldier. I got a story to tell." Like, no, not right now. Not right now.
Right. There's a time for everything under the sun, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Oh, okay, I got that one. Tampa B man, thank you. You are both inspiring and on fire. I'm gonna get done with this live and be like, oh my gosh, I'm such a beezy.
What did I do? I do the
Yeah,
hell
what did I say?
what the hell did I do now?
Post and ghost, guys. Post and ghost.
Oh boy, until someone's in your inbox reminding you of what you said in my case.
I know. I know.
Mhm.
Marilyn, glad I could catch a live. Just wanted to
Lily.
said something to say thank you. Liz is one of my favorites. Y'all inspire me. Hey, Lily, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Um,
Really appreciate the support. Absolutely.
Definitely. And, I have to say, I have been being more myself on YouTube. YouTube is really intimidating. And then I left for a minute and I'm like, you know what? I don't have time to like be proper or be
Right.
whatever. And strangely, I think people are responding.
They
So,
like the authenticity,
yes.
dogs and all, it's like
Yeah, I
kids
guess.
and appointments and yeah, I mean,
There's a
yeah,
messiness to life, and
there really
anybody who
is. And
tells you their life isn't
relate
messy, I'm
well,
like,
speaking of being relatable piece,
yeah,
so I just love her to pieces. And so
exactly.
yeah,
I watch
she's
her
just
too.
real.
She's great. Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Well, on that note,
Okay.
I got all the super chats, right? Yeah, we're good.
Uh,
Perfect.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Thank you guys so much for that.
This has
I'm
been
looking at
great.
these chats. You guys are just everyone loves you, Marilyn. I love that.
Everyone
Awesome.
loves you too. Please come back anytime. I mean, there's so many things we can talk about,
I know. Well,
you
thanks for
know,
bearing with me today. I feel like I was over here and over
anytime.
here and over here. I sat
No.
down like 30 seconds before we went live. So, whew, we did it.
Well, it's a lot. And yeah, I'm just thinking of some of the points you made were just fantastic. I am going to watch it back just so I can hear you again.
Oh boy. Good luck with that. I don't
And I'll
envy.
and
Don't envy you.
I'll be in your inbox. No, just
Yeah, please.
you said this and that. All right, everyone. Even the burnt biscuit loves you, Liz. They don't love me.
Ah, my
All
day is
right,
made.
everyone.
Okay,
Thank you
thanks,
so
guys.
much. Have a great day. Bye.